All right, all right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to day 1 of the six-figure funnel workshop. So glad you guys are here. We are now live in the Facebook groups, YouTube, everywhere. Welcome if you are here in VIP with us. So excited for what's about to go down today. We have a super exciting 2 days that I've been planning for a while now. I meant to do this earlier in the summer. We actually were going to do this in May. Long story short, schedules got moved around, and now we're here. Going to use the next 2 days to show you guys how to use my top 6-figure, 7-figure funnels and implement them in your business so you can 10x your lead flow, 10x your sales. I see. What's up, Antoine? Nice to see you, my guy. Oh, he's always pulling up. So if you're here watching, though, go ahead, comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love seeing who we have in the building, and always want to make sure I give credit to people who are here showing up with us all the time. So team, go ahead and make sure to tag everyone in our Facebook group. I want to make sure we have as many people here watching. And if you see me looking off the screen, guys, it's because I'm looking at you. It's because I'm paying attention to you. I see the chat. I see everything right here. So I'm going to go between my computer and the camera. But my name is Michael Tucker. If you don't know who I am a little bit of everything, but I like to call myself a coach, agency owner, and really I just have a passion for helping people make more money online. So if you're here and you want to make some money online, you want to learn how to take your lead flow and your sales to the next level using some of the top digital marketing tips, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve you in that capacity. Over the past, I'd say about 5 to 6 years now, I can't even keep up, about 6 years now, I've been working in the digital marketing space. But my story isn't really that, I don't know, I want to say that special, but it's not normal for sure. So just to give you a little perspective about who I am, because I want to tee this up today into a fun conversation. I started out not knowing anything about digital marketing, not knowing anything about how to run a funnel or how to build out email systems. Like, I just started out bare bones. It actually started back when I was in high school. I just started tinkering around with websites, just trying to figure out what I could do, but I sucked at it. And so what happened was I went through college and I realized I got to make more money. I just got married right out of college. My wife and I, we just spent all of our money on a trip to Bali for our honeymoon. It was an amazing trip, but do not go blow your life savings on a honeymoon. That's all what we did. And so we came back and I said, I got to make some more money. And so at the time I was trying a little bit of everything to make $1. And one of my friends said, hey, why don't you get into real estate? Now, you guys aren't here to learn real estate tonight, but he said, why don't you get into real estate? And I said, you know what? That'd be awesome. But I'm a broke college kid and I don't have any experience. Like, me getting into real estate? And he said, let me teach you. And I said, dude, how much are you going to charge me? How much are you going to charge me to do this? And he shot me the price. It wasn't anything astronomical, but at the time I literally had probably $100, $200 in my bank account. So I was living paycheck to paycheck. And so I got creative, and some of you guys, Antoine, some of you guys have heard this story, so bear with me. But I got creative and I said, hey, why don't we barter services? I said, you give me real estate coaching. And I said, how about instead, I'll just go ahead and I'll start building out your back end systems. I'll kind of be like your tech guy. And at the time I didn't know much, but I knew just enough to get in there and at least explore. And I knew how to look up stuff on YouTube. I learned how to just mess around with stuff because you can't really break a lot of the stuff I was testing. I was like, I'll just see what happens. So we bartered services. I kind of became his unofficial tech guy / whatever he just wanted me to do to help grow his business. And so that bartering there, that handshake with me and my real estate mentor is what got me into the space I'm at today. Long story short, if I want to, narrow this down to just a couple minutes here, we actually, this is hilarious. We actually started growing his coaching business because he needed help. And we tried launching funnels, but it didn't work. He was like, Michael, you're here telling me that I need to use funnels, but you're telling me it didn't work for you. No, at the beginning, it didn't work. I want to be honest with you guys. Anybody in here ever launched a funnel and it didn't bring in any sales or leads? Let me know right now. Anybody? Okay. Antoine's like me. Caleb, I don't know if that's been you. Anybody in the Facebook and YouTube? Listen, we've all been there. It's all good. And actually, by the way, we got a bunch of people watching on Facebook. We got 12, 15 people watching. You better be throwing those comments in the chat. I got to be engaging. The more you guys engage, the higher energy and the more I'm going to give out tonight. So let's keep that chat pumping. All right. And I may even spotlight some comments on the screen if you guys are chatting with me. So we launched with a funnel and it didn't work. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It sucked. We launched our first funnel and we had this big launch we were doing. And I thought this was going to bring in tons of sales. And I will never forget, I was working part-time at a church, living in a church parsonage. If you don't know what a parsonage is, it's a ministry housing. And so I was staying at a house there on site at our church. Now I'll never forget, I was sitting at the kitchen table I think it was a Friday evening, sitting there in the dark because it was around 8 o'clock at night, right around this time, maybe a little later. It was getting dark, and I remember sitting there in the dark on my computer, had ClickFunnels up. Some of you guys know what ClickFunnels is. And we launched this funnel, and I thought sales were going to pour in. Why? Because I thought, oh, man, we put hours of work into this. We made it look pretty. And I kept hitting the refresh button, and nothing was working. No sales were coming in. And so our first funnel flopped. We didn't make any money. But what we didn't do was we didn't give up. What we didn't do is we didn't throw in the towel. What we didn't do is say funnels don't work. What we didn't do is complain. What we did instead is we went back to the drawing board, got coached, and implemented funnels that worked. We implemented the right processes, systems, and ended up actually turning his business. Like fast forward, he's made over $1 million in his coaching business since then, all through our help. So I don't know if you guys want results like that. If you're like, hey, I want to go from 0 to $1 million. I want to go and run funnels like you are, Michael, and get more leads coming in, more sales. Well, listen, you just hang tight in here because we're gonna go over a lot of stuff. We're gonna go over everything you need. And you know, that story, the reason why I tell you that story is because after experiencing that with my real estate mentor and building up his coaching business, helping him get a ton of leads, like thousands of leads online, making over $1 million, I wholeheartedly believe that funnels and what I'm about to share with you this week is exactly what you need to make money online. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm sharing with you tonight can change anybody's business, if they latch onto it, take it seriously, and learn, implement, tweak, repeat. I always get that mixed up in my head for some reason. Learn, implement, tweak, repeat. If you're cool with that, if you do that, you learn something new like you are tonight, you implement it, then you tweak it, you evaluate it, and then repeat the process. Oh man, it's going to be a great storm. It's going to be a perfect storm for you. So to this week, this 2 days we're spending together here, and I actually may throw a bonus day on Saturday. The 2 days we're spending together, the goal, what I want you to do is when you walk away from this, I want you to be able to, one, know how to create a crazy no-brainer offer, which we're going to talk about tonight. I want you to be able to make one of those and sell like crazy. And then two, I want you to be able to know and learn how to implement your next 6-figure funnel. I'm going to give out my favorites, and I'm going to, little disclaimer here, little sneak peek. My favorite funnels that are working right now are event funnels. If you guys aren't using event funnels in your business, some of you are, some of you guys are not. But if you're not using event funnels inside of your business, and we're going to talk about live event funnels, we're going to be talking about evergreen, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. But if you're not implementing them, you're missing out in 2023. We're also going to talk about how to drive traffic into your business, how to drive traffic to that funnel. So we're going to be covering a lot. All I ask for you guys is, before we get into this content, all I ask is that you all show up. I ask that you guys show up ready, eager to learn. If I ask questions, be engaged. If I have you do some homework tonight, all I ask is that you just do it, because I don't want my time spent. Like, this was a free event for some of you guys. Some of you guys got the VIP ticket, but I don't want this event to be done in vain. I want you guys to actually get something from it and experience life change from what I'm about to say. So I hope you guys can commit to doing that. I hope put commit in the chat if you commit to showing up today, tomorrow, and playing all out with me. The people who do this, and I've experienced this lesson, I've ran over 75 events. That's on a minimum. I've done way more, but I know at least 75 events over the past probably 2 to 3 years. And I've seen many people come through these events, and the ones who show up, pay attention, but not only pay attention, but go all in and converse and things of that nature, they get the most out of it. So, are you guys ready? Are we ready for this? Let's get prepared for something amazing. I hope you guys are ready, man. I see you guys in the Facebook, so don't think I'm skipping out on you. I see VIP and Zoom, and I see the Facebook people and YouTube and everybody. So let's get this party started. So, what I want to talk about tonight is really going to be set the foundation for the week. What I want to talk about tonight is really two things: the old way versus the new way of marketing. And we're going to go into how to create a crazy no-brainer offer. Some of you guys already have this down, but what I hope to bring to you guys today is a different perspective. What I hope you guys to bring is a different perspective, because what some of you all need isn't new information. You just need a different perspective on how to see the information that you've had in the past. Some of you all have attended conferences. Some of you all have attended webinars. Some of you guys have attended workshops. You've taken courses, but what you need is maybe new perspective and a kick in the butt, right? Some of you guys, what you need is a little shove in the back. And so that's what tonight is all about, because listen, I say this all the time, and I'm saying this because I'm passionate about it. There's people on the other side of your business. There's people outside of your business that need you to show up and play all out. There's people who need your crazy no-brainer offer. There's people who need you to take action, because if you don't take action, what could happen is they are not going to benefit from what you have to offer. If you don't take action, what's going to happen is, there could be people that literally, like, for example, David extending his hand and taking action. My real estate coach, David, he extended his hand and took action trying to grow his coaching business. And that changed my life forever. If David wouldn't have said, Michael, why don't you get into real estate? I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And so it was because David had a calling, David had a mission and a vision in his heart, and he moved and gave me an invitation and moved his hand towards me. And that's why I'm here today. And so for some of you guys, you need a new perspective and a new person to kick you in the butt, because there's people out there depending on you. And that's why I love what we're talking about this weekend. It's not all about the money and the leads. That's cool. But how can we make more of an impact in 2023 and beyond? How can we build a legacy for ourselves and make more life change than ever before? That's why we're doing. Most of you guys in here right now watching right now are course creators. Some of you guys are, who else we got in here? Some of you guys are consultants, agency owners. Some of you guys are just business owners in general. Either way, regardless, there are people who need your service. So by you showing up in here and then taking this like I said, implementing it, tweaking and repeating it, like, it's going to change the game. So I just want to say that. I know that was a little rabbit trail, but listen, I want to talk about the old way and new way of marketing. Now, in one of my past workshops that we've done, I've talked about this a little bit, but I want to go super in depth, because times are changing. If you think that everything today is the same as 2 or 3 years ago, you're wrong. If you're here today trying to grow your business the same way that you were 6 years ago, you're in a bad place. Because I want to be honest with you guys, a lot has changed since the pandemic. A lot has changed since, just 6 months ago, right? Since we've been in this recession. And so what my hope is, I want to share with you guys for a few minutes the old way versus the new way, and why you guys should be operating in a new way in your business, in the new marketing practices. Because I'm going to be honest, what we've known up until this time as coaches, course creators, consultants, whatever you are, what you've known up until this time, it has worked good. But what I'm about to share with you guys is going to be so powerful, because what works right now, I promise you, what worked 6 months ago, I promise you will not work moving forward. New technologies coming out. Look at AI. Has anybody been using AI right now in their businesses? Like, how crazy is it what you can do with AI? Like, I've been using, no, this is just a little tangent here, but I've been using AI and our team's been using AI. Like today, I was trying to pick a name for an event for a client, and I just went to AI, Chat GPT. If you guys don't know what that is, we'll maybe talk about that later. But went to Chat GPT and said, hey, I'm running an event. For example, this is what I did. I said, hey, I'm running an event teaching people how to start their own car rental business. Can you come up with 10 event names that sound like this? Boom, it spit out 10 event names. I picked maybe 10. I did it like 3 or 4 times, picked out 5 to 10 names, sent it to the client. They loved them. We picked it and it was fast. So AI technology is changing. And because of the way technology is changing, AI and all these things, the way people think is slowly evolving. The way people perceive you and your products are slowly evolving. The way people look at your business is slowly changing. So what can we do today to make sure we're ahead of the curve? What can we do today to ensure we're operating in the new way of marketing and not the old way of marketing? That's what we're talking about today. So if you have a pen and paper, what I want you to do is I want you to write down old way on one side and new way on the other. Old way on one side, new way on the other. And we're going to compare this, right? So up until this point, I'm going to pull some notes up on my phone real quick. So I'm going to set this up. All right, so let me set this up right here. Up until this point, and let's go back until like, let's go super deep into this. Back in like early 2000s, right? This thing called, maybe late 90s. I don't even know. Listen, I was born, I'm going to give my age out. I was born in 1997. Okay. So I'm a baby. Okay. So like, but late 90s, early 2000s, this big thing came up on the scene, and it was called the web, right? The web, everybody was creating, the internet was popping, the websites were popping, and the way people use the internet was totally different than the way it's being used right now. Wouldn't you guys agree? The way the internet's operating right now is a whole lot different than the way it was operating back in 2000 or 1995. Whole lot different. It's been 25 years since then. But what's slowly happened is people have stayed in the same mind process. People have stayed in the same thought process since then, because that's all they've ever known. The way people use websites currently is the same. The way people speak to their customers is the same. Now, there's some stuff that we've learned from 1995. The way to really captivate people's attention has evolved, but people's marketing strategies just stay the same. And one of those examples, like I talk about all the time, is websites. A lot of people, when you think of starting a business, what do you think of? A lot of people, when you say, hey, what do you need to start a business? They'll say, I need an LLC. I need a business address. I need a website, right? They say, I need a website, because that's what's programmed in the mind. That's what they've thought about all the time. But what I'm about to share with you guys this week is not necessarily website. I'm going to show you how you need to transition to funnels, and high performing funnels at that. But the website is a good example of what I'm talking about, because you'll see people start a new business and they'll go to create a business. They'll go to Squarespace, they'll go to Wix, they'll go to WordPress, and just create a website that has their logo on the top, a menu that says about me, contact me. It'll have products. It'll say random stuff like that, and then a bunch of blob of information. But they never really think about their customers. They never really think about what their customers want and what converts the best. So slowly over time, what some people, like instead of websites, a lot of people have implemented this thing called funnels, which we're going to dive into a little bit. Funnels, I like to call them targeted, focused websites, single page websites. Sometimes I even call them websites with a mission. I call these funnels that they're websites technically, but they're websites with intention. If you don't know what a funnel, most of you guys will know what a funnel is. So if you do, awesome, you're way ahead of the curve. We're going to go deep into funnels this week. If you don't, it's all good. But the funnels is what is evolved, and what's one of the best right now, and it's probably going to change in 5 years from now. People may say funnels are horrible, or the way that we use funnels now is not good. But currently at this stage, websites, the old way of using them is outdated, and we need to use funnels. We need to use high performing, really strategic funnels. Let's move on. What else has changed since then? So I talked about technology like websites, but what about just messaging and copy? Now I'm thinking about back to like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I honestly feel like it was a lot easier to sell 2, 3, 4 years ago, a lot easier to sell lower ticket product items online. Now, some of you all here may agree with this, may not, but I'm just saying, I'm stating facts. Like ebooks, some of you guys sell ebooks in here, I believe. I feel like selling ebooks and some of those lower ticket products were a whole lot easier a little while back. It was, you could go into on the web and you could sell a lot harder. The copy you use could be a little bit more harsh, but guess what? People's caught up to that. People's caught up to those copywriting. What do you call? I was going to call them schemes, but they're not schemes. Copywriting methods. People's caught up to the way that we've been using text and emails and things of that nature to sell up to this date. People are smart. People are very, very, very smart. So what I've noticed is, and this is a trend for you guys to take note of, is people want more value. People want transparency. And I'm going to pull this up on my phone. One of my friends, Ed, he said this perfectly, and it sparked this tonight. He said this. Let me see if I can pull it up. He said, man, this dude Facebook's a lot. I was like, oh, this will be easy to find. All right, one moment. I want to pull this up. He said this. I want to say, and this was clever because I love this. He said, the days of beating your prospect over the head till they buy is over. People are more attracted to seductive marketing and allure them than spam calling them a hard sales, especially more sophisticated markets. So hard selling in every post or email will take away the relationship you have with your readers instead of add to it. He went on and talked about you need to give 2 or 3 times more than you ask in today's age. Soft selling is sexy and attracts a far more serious quality of lead and client. And he said you shouldn't have to arm twist someone into booking a call or buying a high ticket. So anyway, he just kept going on. But the main point of this was the way that we're selling now is a whole lot different than you should be selling a long time ago. The way you're selling now should be a lot different. And so what I want to challenge you guys to do tonight, one of your first homework pieces, one of the things I want to encourage you guys to do, yeah, the fake urgency is over. But people want more value. People want more value in this. I'm going to pull, one second. Let me see if I can pull this back up. All right, here we go. People want to know that you're sincere. People want to know that what you're offering can help them. Teach you, because what I'm about to teach you guys this week is something that could change your business forever and your life forever, but you can't be operating in old ways. That's just a general, what do you call it? Like thing to live by anyways. You can't operate at a new level carrying old baggage, right? You can't operate at a new standard if you're doing things the way you've always done it. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do is take the blinders off, get ready for what we're about to talk about. And the old way of marketing, is a lot different than today. And so what I want to go into today and to really get into is I want to fast forward because I feel like this conversation next is going to be important. I want to talk about for a brief second, and this will lead right into the new way of marketing, is talking about your offer. Now I picked out a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. I could have talked about to you guys about how to pick a niche. I'm not here tonight to talk about picking niches because I assume you guys already have a target audience. I could have sat here tonight and talked to you guys about, hey, I think you guys, what systems to use. We'll talk about some of that stuff tomorrow, but I don't want you to get bogged down with that. what I want to talk about tonight is something I'm seeing that's changing, and this leads into the new way of marketing. What I'm seeing is right now is it was a lot easier to sell stuff online 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And right now, what's winning in the new marketing is offers people are confident in. Offers people feel value in. And what's going to happen is we're in a recession right now, right? And it's probably going to get much worse. If you're here today and you think that we're all good, it's probably, I'm going to be honest with you guys, winter's coming, man. It's going to be this like figurative and literally like this winter. And I would imagine probably within the next year or two, I can't predict anything, but I imagine that things are going to get a little bit more tighter. More tighter. I don't know. More tight. We'll go with that one. And so if you think that you can have the same products and sell the same way you are, like I said, right now, late next year, you can't. And so what I'm seeing right now is over the course of running 75 plus events over the past couple years, selling millions of dollars, literally for example, last week we helped a client make $50,000. Last month we helped a client make, I think, about $3 to $4 million. A month before that, I think we helped somebody make $30,000. So like we're selling stuff. We're getting results. That's the point. I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to show you guys we're getting results. And so one thing I'm seeing that our clients are doing well versus the competition is they have bomb offers, right? And so if you want to increase your marketing and get better at your marketing, you're going to have an offer that is irresistible. And you guys have already heard this, right? Alex Hormozi teaches this. Some of you guys know other people that teach this stuff. If you haven't, cool, because you're in for a great conversation. But one thing you can do to ensure, or I shouldn't say to ensure, but to give you better chances to win over the next year or two when other people are having droughts, is have an offer that is so well structured that people feel stupid saying no, and that you're actually getting results for people. People see it and are like, I need that in my life. And I'm going to be honest right now. I wanted you guys to do this right now. For those of you all that are taking and you're selling right now, you have offers right now, I want you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 what you think your offers are in value. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the very best. 10 being like, this offer, this product couldn't get any better. My clients love it. They're renewing. They're purchasing a lot of it. And then on the flip side, 1 being like, I can't get anybody to buy it. It sucks. It's horrible. People that do buy it hate me. They ask for refunds. Narrow down your products. I want you to write it on a scale of 1 to 10. You cannot have a mediocre offer in 2023 and expect to thrive. If you do have a mediocre offer, I promise you, you'll do okay. But you're never going to scale up. You're never going to grow. You're never going to be able to scale exponentially. And especially the reason, last little plug here for tomorrow, I won't talk about tomorrow any, but before we go into funnels tomorrow and we lay out the whole framework and we talk about how to drive traffic to your business, I want you to have an offer so good that when you run these funnels and you start driving traffic to what I'm about to show you, it's going to be a no-brainer for your clients. The funnels are going to be popping. So this is the foundation, I feel like, for right now. This is the foundation. So what I want to do is I'm going to spend about 30 to 45 minutes talking about, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? We'll see where this leads. But I'm going to spend some time with you guys diving into how to create a crazy no-brainer offer. That's what we're going to talk about today. How to create a crazy no-brainer offer. So get your pen and paper out. Get ready. VIP. I'm going to drop this workbook in the chat just in case you guys didn't get it. I think I sent it out. It was in the portal if you guys got access to that. But here you go. I just dropped it in the chat for you guys, VIP. If you guys want access to the workbook, the replays of this event, if you're watching in Facebook or YouTube, or just go to mysixfigurefunnel.com. Grab a VIP ticket. You're going to get access to these recordings for a lifetime, or until I croak, I guess you should say, the workbook and things of that nature. So how to create a crazy no-brainer offer. And so what I want to do is, and I have this in the workbook here. I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I can see the workbook and see some things here. There's really a few things you need to do whenever it comes to creating an irresistible offer in 2023. Now, I'm not going to be talking about which products you should have and shouldn't have. I'm not going to talk about what softwares you should host your offer on if you're a coach or course creator. I'm not going to talk about all the little things. What I'm actually going to talk about is a little bit deeper. I'm going to talk about the things that people aren't talking about all the time. What I'm going to talk about is the inner beings of your offer, and really think about why you do what you do inside your group coaching program. Why you really do what you're doing currently in your mastermind, your video course, or maybe your service-based business. Because ultimately, you can have a video course, but if it's not done for the right intentions, if it's not built the right way, if it doesn't have the right information in it, then ultimately it's not going to be good for your client. You're not going to get results for your client, and you're not going to eventually get more clients, because what's going to happen is it's not irresistible. You can go and have weekly coaching calls, and I learned this the hard way. I want to be honest with you guys. I learned this last year. I ran a coaching program, and I've already told my crew this. It wasn't optimized. It was a good coaching program. I gave a lot, but what happened was I gave them so much information they didn't take action, because I thought information. This is a quick gem for you guys. More isn't always better in your offers. This is a little tangent here. Whenever it comes to building an offer, putting more in your offer does not always mean better. And the thing that happens is a lot of people, whenever they're creating an offer, they say, hey, how can I smash so much stuff into my offer that it's a no-brainer? That's a good theory, but what actually matters is how much value can I pack inside of my offer? How much value can I pack in it and get them results? So I want you to focus on that as we're talking about this week. It's not about how much stuff we can include, which you do want to have stuff in there, right, to get them the value, but it's not all about an abundance. One coach I worked with, he was like, man, the reason why this offer isn't selling is because there's just not enough. When in reality, what I found out was his offer it had enough, it just wasn't the right information. We had a guy, he ran an event, and I'm going to be honest, it kind of flopped. Only got a few sales. And I was like, dude, I didn't tell him. I said it nicely to him. I didn't say it this way, but the reason why his offer didn't sell is because it wasn't narrowed enough. It didn't have enough intention behind it. Didn't have enough thought process built into it. So I don't want that to happen to you guys. I want you to create something that's bulletproof, irresistible. But when you're starting out, so let's get back on track here. So when you're building a crazy no-brainer offer, one thing I love is starting out with, let me pull this up here so I can see the chat, make sure you guys don't have any questions. Any questions anytime, guys, throw it in the chat. What I like to ask first is the people who are going to be on the other side, the people who are going to be my clients, my students, where do they want to be? What do they want to achieve? How do they want to feel? In the workbook, I have it stated, what is their dream destination? What is their dream destination? So if you're a real estate coach, like, what is their dreams? I'm using coaching as an example because that's like a 75% of the people here. If I'll even use it as a service-based business, like an in-person, like if you're a pressure washing company, what is your client's dream destination? What do they desire? What do they want? What do they need? And so that's the first thing I like to ask myself is where do my clients dream of being after they work with me, or when they work with me? I like to, and I wish I had a whiteboard here. I need to invest in a whiteboard eventually. But what I like to do is I like on a piece of paper, if you guys have it, draw on your piece of paper point A, and then on the other side of your piece of paper, draw point Z, right? Point A is where they're at right now. Point A is where they're at currently at this day, at this time, the current situation. They may have no money. They may be working a 9-to-5 job. They may have, on the pressure washing example, they may have a dirty house. Nasty old stinky house. Point Z is where they want to be. So what I like to ask people right now, when you're creating this dream destination map, write down right now on the first side where point A is. Where are they at? For some of you guys, your customer is where you used to be. This isn't always the case, but sometimes, most of the times, your client is currently where you used to be, who you used to be. Get really clear on that. How are they feeling right now? What are they experiencing at this moment? And then on the other side of the paper, I want you guys to write down, where's their destination? What's their dreams? What do they want? So for example, like I'll give like my niche, for example, coaches, course creators, people. My dream client and like the people I know and the people I want to work with, point A for them, like at the beginning, they're probably making $5,000 or $10,000 a month in their coaching business. So like point A is they're making a little money, just not a lot of it. They're probably a one-man army. They've probably got one maybe team member at most. So they're maybe a little frustrated. They're tired. And this is really cool because actually last week we helped this guy make $50,000. I'm doing a whole interview inside of the Virtual Stage Secrets group next Monday, by the way, just a short little plug with this client so you guys can see like this is true. But he is just him and his wife bootstrapping it, making a little bit of money. That's like they're bringing in some leads, but not a lot of leads. They're making a little bit of money, not a lot. They're feeling burnt out, right? And so the dream destination for my client is that they're making $50,000 plus per month in their coaching business. They have a team. They're able to travel without any stress. Their clients are getting wins. I can go on and on about both scenarios. But what I wanted you to do is write down and really take some time. This is going to be your homework tonight. This is going to be your homework to get clear on where they want to be. Because here's the deal. A lot of you guys are creating offers without creating your dream destination. And guess what happens? Your offer doesn't even get them there. Your offer doesn't even get them there because you never thought of it with the end in mind. You never took into consideration where your client's at. And so the old way of marketing, you guys, the old way that people were selling even, not just marketing, but selling without taking clients' needs into consideration, clients' wants, their dreams, their desires, like that's over. Because people are getting smart and people that the buyers, the purchasers, guess what they're doing over the next year or two? They're getting smarter and smarter. And guess what? They're getting more selective, more picky who they work with because they want to they want to make sure the money they're spending, they want to make sure the people they're partnering with 100% can help them get to where they want to go. But some of us, we haven't been taking time to really evaluate where they are now and where they want to go. Does that make sense? Put make sense in the chat. If that is making sense at this moment, put make sense in the chat. And that's pretty, for some of you guys, you may say, Michael, that's common sense. Let's redo it again. Repetition doesn't hurt. Repetition doesn't hurt. Refresh your brain, right? A lot of us, we say, oh my God, I know this stuff. But repetition is how you get to greatness. Doing something over and over and over again. Mastery is achieved through repetition. You think Michael Jordan got great at basketball? You guys heard Michael Jordan's story, right? I don't even remember the whole story. Cut from his like freshman team or something like that. He didn't make like maybe freshman year or something like that. But then he bounced back, got really good. I'm sure his growth maybe helped him out a little bit, but he did put in the work. So repetition is key to mastery. All right. So first thing you need to do, like I said, is you need to make sure that you have your client's dream destination in mind. And then from there, what I want you to do, now that you know point A and point Z on your paper, now that you have that, what I want you to do is ask, what problems are they going to face on the journey to get to that dream destination? We're going a step deeper. We're going a step deeper. What problems, what setbacks, what challenges are they going to face on the journey to their dream destination? Give you a little thought here. And I'm going to frame this in a different way in just a second, but I'm going to give you an example. So for my example, like I was saying, coaches, people of that nature, the challenges, the problems, the things they may face up until that point is they may face that they don't know tech, right? So the one challenge is we may teach them something and they just don't know how to implement it because they're not tech savvy. One thing may be that, let me think. I got a bunch in my head. I'm going to pull one out that makes more sense for this scenario. They may invest into a certain person in their company, but don't know how to train them well, and that's going to cause frustration, right? Another way you guys could word this is, instead of wording it like what problems are they going to face during their journey, you could ask maybe even what objections are they currently giving? This is even deeper. What objections are they currently giving that's stopping them from getting from their dream destination? There's tons of ways we can frame this. But what we want to do is on your piece of paper, there's that gap, right? So if you wrote on one side of the paper, there's point A. On the other side, there's point Z, the final destination. There's a big gap there. There's a big gap. What are the challenges they're going to experience as they take a step forward? When they work with you, and even if they aren't working with you, what is that going to be? And I want you to write all those out. Because what we're going to do is, your offer that we're going to build is going to help relieve, get rid of those pain points, those challenges, those problems. Your solution is going to combat that. Your solution is going to rid those. It may not rid all of them. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because people deal with personal stuff. Some people, they'll buy a product, they may not implement it the way they should, right? But your offer, the way we're going to structure it tonight, and the way you should structure it, is that it helps them overcome those obstacles on their journey to the end destination, to the dream destination. So you guys wrote down all the problems. You guys wrote down all the problems right now. What I want to encourage you guys to do is write down the solutions. This is going to take some time, guys. I want to encourage you. This is going to be homework tonight. All right. This is a workshop for a reason. Work. We're going to put in the work these next 2 days. But I want you to ask, so once you find out what those problems are, I want you to create a solution for every single one of them. So you may have a bullet point list of the challenges. So Caleb, who's in here. Caleb, what's up, my friend? I hope you're listening. Caleb, who's in here, him and his wife, they love teaching other people how to have better marriages. They also have a heart for teenagers and things of that nature. But I'm going to use the marriage a little bit for an example. So their client's dreams destination may be a marriage where there's a lot of intimacy, a marriage where there's a lot of conversation, a lot of joy. You name it, right? You guys get the picture. Marriages that are thriving. But Caleb has to ask, and Caleb needs to ask. If he doesn't ask this, Caleb's in a bad place. Caleb needs to ask, what are the setbacks they're going to have on the way to getting there? Now, we all know a lot of us are married here. A lot of us know marriage is an ongoing growth journey, right? That's with everything in life. But we got to know, okay, to take somebody from a marriage that is not thriving, that's the opposite of thriving, to get them to where they're thriving in their business, what are the hurdles going to be? What are the things they're going to experience? And how can I help ease those things and help them overcome that with my offer? So the problems on the other side of the paper at point Z. What I want you to do is I want you to write a solution for every single one of those problems. So guess what? A problem that my clients may have, like I said, was the tech stuff. So they're coaches, but one thing they had a problem with, I don't know how to run tech. So guess what? The solution is we're going to create easy tutorials. This is just an example. Solution is we're going to help you operate tech with little to no knowledge using maybe basic tutorials. I'm just making stuff up. Using our plug and play systems. Using our templates. And so come up with solution for every single one of those problems. And it may take time. I'm going to be honest. There's maybe some of them you don't know what the solution is for right now. It's okay. If you don't know what the solution is right now, it's all good. I promise you. Okay, and I talked to Daniel. I don't know if Daniel's watching this. Daniel, if you are, I'm gonna dive into our conversation we had earlier with everybody else. There's some things that you won't know until you go actually and do it. There's some solutions that you won't know about, some things that you won't understand and even know to offer to your clients until you get out there and do the work, until you start serving your people. And so for some of you guys, you're just going to have to serve to figure out what they need. You're going to have to offer your time, your energy to help these people to even see what is going to move the needle in your business, to move the needle in their life, I should say as well. But at least start now game planning what those solutions are. Here we go. Step 4. So step 1 is figure out the dream destination. Step 2, what are the problems they face on the journey? Step 2, what solutions? I'm not saying how to bring those solutions to them currently, like an offer, because we're going to get to that next. But just figure out what those solutions are. What's the opposite of what they're going to experience? Number 4. This one's where we're going to get deep into the offer, guys. I'm pumped up. This is where the conversation is going to start getting hot. This is going to be awesome. What are the vehicles you can use to provide those solutions? I'm going to say it again. What are the vehicles? So once you know the solution, step 4 is what are the vehicles you can use to provide those solutions? So you know where the client is, you know what they're going to experience, what they are experiencing. You know what these solutions are. You know what they need to do, but how can you provide this in a product? How can you craft these into an offer to help them the most? For all of my coaches in here, for all of my course creators, speakers, one of my favorite ways, and I'm not saying everybody has to do this, so don't come at me and say, Michael, I don't want to do that. One of my favorite ways to do this right now online is by crafting a done for you offer. This is just one of my favorites right now. I'm experiencing right now people who offer a more done for you solution online for us digital people. People who offer a more done for you solution are catching people by storm. Now, I'm not saying you have to offer this, and not all my clients do this. But if you can craft an offer where you even do part of the process for your client, so you know where they're at, point A, point Z, right? If you can help them get to point Z faster by even doing things for them, oh man, talk about the money you can charge. Talk about the wins you can get. That's not for everybody. But for example, we have an agency. Some of you guys know this. Some of you guys have been a part of that agency. Some of you have worked with us. But we have an offer, just so you guys, people can do it yourself, right? They can do it themselves. And you guys are all familiar. If you're not, there's really 3 types of offers you can build. Do it yourself, do it with you, where I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll do it with you, and then a done for you, right? So those are the 3 types of offers you can implement into your business that are most common right now. I'll say that again. You can write these down. Have a do it yourself, which is normally the cheaper option because you're just going to give them the info on how to do it. You guys ever bought furniture before and the price they give you is just do it yourself, right? You have to put the IKEA furniture together yourself, but they also have a price that they'll do it for you, right? It costs more. So the do it yourself is usually the lowest. Do it done with you is like where you're going to provide some guidance, but not do all of it for them. And then done for you is like, hey, hands off, I'm going to do it for you. Normally you can charge a premium for that. But what I'm saying is right now, for people who have done for you offers, done for you, I'm going to call them solutions. Okay. So from the remainder of this call, I may switch from offers to solutions, just so you're aware. People who have done for you solutions, I feel like right now have the upper hand. People who have a done for you solution have a higher chance of closing deals, because what's happening is people are tired of fluff. People are tired of information that doesn't pertain to them. People are tired of buying courses, buying things that aren't going to help them get to where they want to be. Why? Because the people that sold them that didn't do what we're talking about today. So if you can provide a solution to where, hey, I'm actually going to hold your hand, walk you through the process, but also do it for you, it's so powerful. So powerful. So that's what we've done for the past 2 or 3 years. We have a do it done with you offer. We have a do it yourself. But what we sold most of right now currently, mainly because we've pushed it the hardest, but people love us, and people know us for our done for you solution of running virtual events and building challenge funnels and building webinar funnel, all these funnels. Our agency, like we're booked out until October right now with work. All because we had a done for you product. If you don't have a done for you product, I'm not saying you have to start one tonight, but if you have capacity to figure out a way to do that, I would maybe encourage you to do so. Start looking into it. Now, for some of you guys, you're like, Michael, what does a done for you offer look like for marriage coaching? What is a done for you? Now, there's some things you can't do for your clients, like I mentioned. There's some things you can't do. I can't make Caleb and his wife have conversations if I was a marriage coach. I can't make Elke and her family do things, right? They're going to have to do that themselves. So there's some of these ways you're going to have to get a little creative. There's some things you're going to have to put more thought into. But for those of y'all that can provide a service or can provide a done for you solution, definitely jump into that. Because over the next year or two, what's going to happen is people, like I mentioned, people's money's going to tighten up. It already has tightened up. Just a little word for all the coaches and course creators, speakers, whatever you want to call yourself out there. People providing digital products. Like I've seen a slow drop in the amount of sales and the funnels and the events we've ran. But what I'm about to teach you guys is going to help you avoid that. But we have seen a slight decrease. But the done for you hasn't slowed down for us. Done for you has been a major hit for a lot of our clients. All right, tangent over. I think, Antoine, you have a done for you offer, right? In a sense. Yeah, he's good. He's like, yeah, I got that. Yeah, so Antoine, who's here in the Zoom, some of you guys in Facebook won't be able to see him because I'm streaming from a different software, but Antoine, who's here, he actually has, Antoine, tell everybody real quick, you have a virtual assistant business, right? So you have a virtual assistant business and you also teach, you have another business. Give us a rundown on that. Oh, I love it. Right. Gotcha. Love it. And that's a done for you offer, right? Okay, so people are in Facebook. Thanks, Antoine. I just want to pull you up here so I can give proper perspective if I use you as an example. So Antoine, who's here, if for the Facebook people, I think it may have been a little choppy there for you guys. He has a virtual assistant business, but then also he runs an agency, which is a done for you model. Not saying you guys have to start an agency, but he has a done for you business where he sets up people's pretty much their systems, their ads, helps them start getting online. And so I would beg to say, and I could be wrong, Antoine, but I would beg to say if you had a product where you were teaching people how to do it, and then you had a product where you actually did it for people, you would probably sell more of the done for you. Is that accurate? Like, do you think that's true? Like, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or put in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. It's up to you. People want results. Love it. You know what I love doing is I love pairing the done for you with the teaching. I love teaching people as I do it. So a little quick tip for you guys. If you can, like he said, find ways to get people results, but if you have a done for you offer, people think, oh, I want it to be completely hands off for my client. Cool. I try to do that as well. But what I love to do is try to teach them in the process, because I know the knowledge, if I can show them my processes, yeah, they can go, they may go run an event by themselves. They may start implementing things by themselves. It's all good. But they're going to look at me as an authority moving forward if I can at least show them what we're doing, teach them. I may not give all my what would you call it? All my strategic, things out there. I may not give them all my systems and automations and things we do, but I'm going to teach them the basics so that later on they know why I did what I did, why their business grew the way it did. So let's go back to what we were discussing, right? So, Antoine's so good. You guys need to connect with him in the Facebook group. Antoine Campbell, connect with him. This dude's legit. He has a podcast. He has, definitely a great person to connect with. Really genuine guy. So thanks, Antoine, for being in here and always supporting what we got going on. So, let's go back to it. So what solution, we were talking about vehicle solutions. One of my favorites, like I said, right now is the done for you, but you don't have to do that. So what I want you guys to ask yourself is, how can I, like Antoine said in his little talk there, how can I get my client to these solutions the fastest, right? And now here's the deal though. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Whenever it comes to marketing and sales, the things that you think is going to be valuable, sometimes our customers don't seem as valuable. What we put in messaging, what we put in the copy, what we put in the ads, sometimes isn't valuable to them. They don't see the value in it, right? I could say, hey, Elke, if you sign up for my program, or Caleb or Antoine, if you sign up for my program, I'm going to give you these 8 templates to use. Sometimes people, it may not be the templates they value, but it's what the templates are going to bring them, right? And so you just need to ask yourself, when you're building out these vehicles for your solutions, I'm going to call them solution vehicles, ask what's ultimately going to help them get their results faster, but what's valuable in their eyes? What can I create that's valuable to them, and so valuable that they would say, you know what, that is a crazy no-brainer offer. If I skip that offer, I'm crazy. And so what's happened is some of you guys have been providing solution vehicles. Some of you guys have been building an offer that, one, it doesn't help solve their problems, or two, it maybe does, but the way you've been marketing it, the way you've been perceiving it for your customers, the way you've been showing it and presenting it and offering it to them isn't seen as valuable to them. Does that make sense? So I would start there. Ask yourself, is what I offered, if you currently have an offer, is what I'm offering now a crazy no-brainer offer? Does it solve their problems? Does it get them to their dream destination? If not, we need to rethink that. And then is it branded and perceived as valuable in their eyes? That's number 2. If you currently have an offer, if you don't, you still need to ask yourself that. But so I'm gonna give you guys a little example. So I'm gonna go back to last year. We launched a mastermind for coaches. I think we got 15-ish people in there. It's kind of like a beta launch. Just see what worked, what didn't work. So in this, we gave them a bunch of stuff, right? But the way it was all great stuff. And to be honest, it was going to help them get to their goal if they implemented it. But to be honest, we structured it and we packaged it in a way and marketed it in a way, to be honest, that it wasn't perceived as valuable. And so people didn't take advantage of it as much. And so now we're relaunching it this month, next month, something like that. And the way we're marketing the pieces to the puzzle is different. Some of the pieces that we included in the offer is the same. Some of it's different. Some of it is the same stuff. We just tweaked it, renamed it, rebranded it. Maybe take away some video lessons, add some video lessons. But what I want to do is I want to jump in for like the people who are selling digital, the people who are selling the people who are selling like courses and masterminds, group coaching programs. What I want to talk about today is really going to help you for tomorrow. Because tomorrow, to give you guys a little glimpse, we're going to be talking about 2 to 3 different funnel types that we've been using. Some of you guys are already using them, but I'm going to show you how we use them. And when you have this crazy no-brainer offer set up the right way, it's just going to be mind-blowing. And so, crazy no-brainer offer, let's go a bit deeper into it. When you're creating this and you're building the pieces, I like to have multiple pieces, but what I do is I don't overwhelm the people. I've learned. Remember, I said this, it's not about how much they get, it's about what they get and the value of it. So, but what I'm telling you is it may not be just one thing they get if you're building an offer. What I want you to do is find ways to add multiple things to your offer that are valuable, but don't overdo it. Okay. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like, don't think you have to add everything and everything. So, but one thing I've read, and this was actually Alex Hormozy who said this. If you guys don't follow him, go check it out. He has a book about offers, which is really cool. It will change the way you look at things. But he actually talked about, he's seen a lot of sales teams, a lot of businesses suffer because of the fact that they only had one piece to their offer. He said, I've actually seen businesses not be able to grow, and like their sales team not be able to sell their products because it was just a single product in their offer. It was a single product offering. I'm sorry about that. Single product offering. So what can you do? What else can you add that's going to add value to them? So for us, like for when we're running virtual events, just to give you guys a little perspective, here's a base, like I'm just giving examples. This is not going to pertain to everybody. But when we're running virtual events, a lot of the things we'll create is how can we give them, well, let me give you an example. For a couple of weeks ago, we did this. For a client, we built this out. We said, hey, your clients, they want to achieve XYZ. So let me see if I can pull a paper out here so I don't forget. Repurposing, repackaging. I love that. So last week we said we ran a couple weeks ago. It wasn't last week, but we ran an event and built out an offer. And we said, hey, we're going to help these people get their credit up. That was the offer. Like the people, their dream destination was at the point Z that we talked about. Their dream destination was they had perfect credit, which perfect credit's like what, 800, 850? I don't even know what the credit score is now. Like a perfect credit score. And he taught real estate. So we said, and real estate, they were making money in real estate. They had their first real estate rental, right? That's dream destination. They had their first rental, their credit's perfect, and they have $100,000 in funding, whatever we came up with. Where are they at right now? A lot of the people we said, they probably got bad credit, right? They probably don't have real estate experience. They probably don't have the most funding. So how can we build out a program that's going to get there? What are their problems? What are the solutions we can provide? And what we came up with was, one, to get them to their goal faster, we were going to give them in our offer done for you credit repair. This is just an example. Guess what? We can't change your spending habits, right? That's one thing we can't do to help people get a perfect credit score. But what we can do is help you. He said, we can help you knock out all those hard inquiries that you never wanted to be there. All those late payments that, you've had 3 years ago, 2 years ago that are still on your credit. We can help knock those off. So we said, we're going to give you a done for you credit repair. You guys don't have to do that, but that's just, he said, I'm going to do that. That's what a solution I can provide to get them faster. I'm going to offer that. I said, okay, cool. So we know the goal is to get also real estate and, also to get them funding. So what else? So he said, okay, I'm going to give you a done for you credit repair. Then we're also going to build something to where I'm going to give you all that, once your credit's fixed by us, all the credit plays you need to go out there and get up to $50,000 to $100,000 in business credit in the next few months. And so he had a course he already had made and like a checklist on how to build out and get this credit. So he had the done for you offer. He had the checklist, right? He had the checklist and the course on how to actually go get money now that your credit's good. So that was 2 pieces, right? It wasn't just one piece of the puzzle. He had 2 so far. And he said, you know what? He said, I know the problem's going to be, though. The problem's going to be that people on their journey to their dream destination of having perfect credit, the things that are going to pop up. Thank you, Antoine, for throwing down there. Highest is 850, lowest is 300 in credit score. So to get to an 850 credit score, to get their first real estate doors, he said, you know what they're going to need? They're going to need accountability. Because what's going to happen is they're going to try to go make an offer on a property. One of their hard inquiries is not going to come off. They're going to get discouraged. So he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to offer accountability once a week for 30 minutes a week or 60 minutes, whatever he decided to do. And he said, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to pay somebody else. He said, I'm going to pay somebody else to come and motivate my people and keep them accountable. I'm going to have a accountability coach. So now he has 3 pieces of the puzzle. Done for you credit repair, checklist and a video course of how to go get the money, accountability calls. He said, you know what? But that's only about the credit. What about the real estate? So he said, you know what? Their credit's going to be good, but now they got to go get the real estate. So I'm going to coach them. I'm going to do weekly calls on how to get into real estate. So he gave them weekly calls. And he came out, there's a bunch of different offers, right? But what the solution vehicles we created for him at the end of it, when we created the messaging for it, when we built out the products and we presented it to the people, guess what happened? They looked at this full list of stuff, which I was writing down here, and they said, I cannot live without that. You mean to tell me that I'm going to attend this program, and if I do everything you say and I take the coaching and I try my hardest, that there's almost a 99, 100% chance that I'm going to have perfect credit if I do everything over the next 6 months. I'm going to have my first real estate doors. I'm going to have 100,000. Like, I need that. Now your offer may not be structured that way, but once you guys start analyzing their problems and then creating a solution-based offer, it's going to be a no-brainer. And guess what? The no-brainer doesn't need to be just about what's in the product, but the no-brainer also continues into the price. The price. How can I create it to where the value they are getting is 10x what I'm charging them? 10x what I'm charging them. I actually like doing this with my clients. When we build out their offer, I say, like, truly, like, if they implement this, like, what's the value in this? Like, if people truly implement this offer we build, theoretically, like, what should this be worth? Like, what is this actually should be valued at? For this guy, like, right? This guy, he's going to help people get a perfect credit score. He's going to help them get $100,000 in funding, get their first real estate doors that are going to probably pay them $500 a month, $1,000 a month. Like, this offer, I'm going to be honest, this is like valued $50,000 to $100,000. Right? You may not think that, but for some people, they would be like, man, that's super valuable. That's going to make me a lot of money. That's going to save me a lot of time. And so whenever it comes to pricing, you want your price to be no-brainer as well. I'm not saying you should undercut yourself. I'm not saying you should charge less. I'm not saying you should go out there and you should actually discount your offer so deep that you don't make any money. We need to price it to where you make money to make it worth it, right? To make it profitable for your business. So pricing, one, you need to look at, whenever it comes to pricing your offer, you need to look at what hard costs do I have? So you can write that down. What costs are involved with my offer? So for Antoine here, this dude, he's running a whole agency. Antoine, I feel you, brother. There's a lot of costs when it comes to running an agency. Definitely, man. There's employees you got to pay. There's software. I got like $1,000 or $2,000 a month in just software alone. I think it's like $1,000, something like that. It's crazy. That's a hard cost. So what costs are involved with me delivering this product? For this guy, he's got to pay an accountability coach. He's got to take that into account with his offer price. This guy, he has to pay somebody to help with the done-for-you credit repair. He has a team members he has to pay. He has to account for his time. What's his time worth for these weekly calls he's on? So I don't want you guys, when I'm saying like have a crazy no-brainer price, I'm saying factor in what you're worth, factor in what it's worth. But I promise you, when you present these offers in the funnel and with the things I'm going to show you tomorrow, you'll see why it's good to have a crazy no-brainer offer. But what I like, a rule of thumb is I like the value to be about 10x what you're charging. So for example, one of my offers was like 10,000, right? One of my, I should say, when my agency, a lot of my agency is actually equity based. Antoine says I call it a break-even analysis. Yep. So I know like the goal for me, if I'm charging $10,000 for a product, the people on the other end of the line, the people who are buying that product should, if they implement everything, and if I help them get to their dream destination, should at least make $100,000 or find that much in value. If I'm charging $5,000, about $50,000 in value, $1,000, $10,000, right? And value is not. Let me say this: whenever I say 10x value, it's not always in money. When I say value, as in like it needs to be 10x in what you're charging in value, I'm not talking about money, but I'm talking about in perceived value as well. What people perceive it as. So that leads to the thought of how do people perceive your offer? How do people perceive what you're building out? That's why we were talking about the importance of messaging earlier, right? Alex Hormozy, I'm going to bring him up a lot because it's in his book about offers, but he talks about whenever it comes to selling and offers, he talks about the right people, like the right niche, the right market with the right offer. With the right messaging is a storm for sales. It's like a great sale. I'm going to say that again. The right market, the right niche with the right offer, with the perfect messaging and persuasion skills. Persuasion is a good thing, guys. Persuasion is a good thing. So if you can learn your market, which like I said, I came into this call assuming you guys knew what your market was, knew what your niche was. If you figure out what that is, you come up with a bomb offer, and then you also get really good at persuading and messaging. It's over. It's over. And so back to what I was saying is value is not always calculated with money. It's calculated by other things too. So is your offer 10x more valuable than what you're offering it at right now? And what I love to do is I tell people this, and Antoine, you probably did this. Caleb, you guys probably know this, and you've probably done this before. If you're like, I don't know what to charge for my offer, do an analysis, get creative, go out there. What I like to do is see what other people are charging. I'm not saying what they're charging is what you should charge. I'm not saying that. See what other people are charging. What other people are charging to build out funnels. What other people are charging to build out automations. What other people are charging to do marriage coaching. Compare your offer to theirs. If you don't have anybody in your niche and you're new, what you have is probably rare and it's probably valuable. It's probably worth a lot. sometimes how you figure this out is not just by going out there and see what other people are charging, but it's actually by starting to work with people, getting them results, and seeing what they would pay after. Asking people, what would you pay for this? What would you pay if I helped you get the perfect credit score, get your first real estate doors? What would you pay if I coached you for a week for the next year? What would you do if I gave, like, what would you pay if I, fix your credit in the next 30 days? People will tell you. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised because people, like I mentioned, you'd be surprised at what people will pay if they see it valuable. For one of our offers, it's 50% equity in the work we do. That's 50% of profits that we do. So like Antoine, for example, he could go to his agency. If he has a good enough offer, he could go in and maybe even charge these businesses that he's working with, hey, if I help you make money, we'll just split the profits 50-50. He goes and helps somebody make $100,000. He gets 50 of it. And people, like, believe it or not, you're like, Michael, people would do that? Yeah, if the value's there, if the offer's right, if the solution is right, they definitely will. I'm going to be honest, though. Whenever I first started to talk about pricing, figuring out your pricing, I started out too low. Caleb will tell you. Caleb's on my team. He's like, Michael, you need to raise your prices, bro. People tell me, Michael, you need to raise your prices. But the way I learned was through implementation and action. How you guys are going to learn is through implementation and practice. So you may price your product. Guess what? You may price it too low the first time. You may price it too high. You'll learn. You'll learn. And we can actually, there's like tons of books out. I'm not going to sit here and talk about tonight, like, let's sit down and break down your products. And like, because you guys can go read books and people will talk about pricing way deeper than I can tonight on this call. This is only an hour and a half call. But one way I've learned through pricing is going out there and doing it. So when we first started our agency, we started out, our equity was like 25%. And when I found out, people was like, heck yeah, you made me $500,000. You made me $1 million. What'd you say? Or you made me $100,000, $50,000. I'll give you 20% of that. I was like, okay, I'm too cheap. Like, these people are abusing me. I got to raise those prices. Some of you guys need to raise your prices to make more money in your business. It's not about okay, let me say this. Some of you all, it's not, you don't need to create another product. You just need to raise your prices on your current product to make more money. So for us, it was that. Our product was good, but what I realized was I had it underpriced. But if I wouldn't have gone out there and started taking action and offering the product, I would have never known. So do some due diligence, break down exactly what those solution vehicles are going to be, and then go to the drawing board and ask, what is this worth? What would I have paid for this? What would I have paid for this if I was in the same scenario, or maybe you were? What would I have paid for this when I was in this same scenario? If I knew I was going to get results like this. And guys, when you do this, I'm seeing, okay, give you an example. With what I'm about to show you tomorrow, we are having about 15 to 20% conversion rates. Let me say this. With what I'm about to teach you tomorrow, look, Antoine says, I'm working on a new offer, setting up turnkey VA agencies. Bro, I love this. This is actually so dope. Already got 2 commitments and haven't even started the back end yet. That's how you know, like, dude, it's a bomb offer. You already got 2 people committed? You haven't even started yet. That's awesome. Where was I at? I don't even remember. You got me pumped up, bro. I'm like, that's awesome. That's cool to hear. Shoot me details about that. That's pretty dope. That's really cool. He's like, yeah, he's ready. Where was I at? Caleb, you always bring me back to speed here, bro. I can't even remember. Elkie, somebody refresh me. What was I talking about, bro? Anyway, we were talking about offers. We'll continue on. So, I was talking about the conversion rates. Gotcha. That's what I was talking about. So with what I'm about to show you guys tomorrow is with a well built out offer, we are getting with these funnels. We're building these virtual stage funnels. I'm going to share with you guys. We're getting on, and one of them, like I have stats to prove, we're getting between 15 to 20% conversion rates or higher. Okay. 15 to 20% of the people who come through these funnels are getting closed on our deals. Now, let's just say if 100 people come through these funnels I'm about to share with you guys tomorrow, and 100 people come through and you close 20% of them, that's 20 people. Now, I don't know what your product is. Antoine has a turnkey VA agency. I'm assuming a turnkey VA agency isn't cheap. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm sure you're not paying $100 for that. I'm sure you're not paying $500. I'm sure you're paying 10, 20, 30, maybe even more, right? So imagine, okay, I'm just imagining, Antoine, you run these virtual event funnels, you do what we're going to show you, and you have 100 people come through that funnel and 20 people end up purchasing that. Is that life-changing or what? Is that crazy or what? 20 people buy a $10,000 offer? I don't know about you guys. Yeah, Antoine's like, yeah, I'll take that bread. I'll take that. But even if you have a $100 product, you put 100 people through these funnels we're going to share with you guys. 100 people you put through these, and then 20 come and buy a $100 product. That's $2,000. For some of you guys just starting out, that's good. For me, I'd take $2,000 any day. And so this is the foundation. What I want to encourage you guys to do tonight is I want you to go home and refresh this. Your homework I want you to do tonight is post in the Facebook group those 4 steps. What is your client's dream destination? What are the problems, the solutions, and what vehicles can I create to help them get to their dream destination faster? Drop that in the Facebook group tonight. I'm going to be watching. My team's going to be watching. I'm going to give shout outs. I'm going to take screenshots. I may even do some giveaways to people that take advantage of that and do that. Post in the Virtual Stage Secrets group. Some of you guys are not in the Virtual Stage Secrets group. Comment if you want access to that group. I know some of y'all are watching on YouTube, my profile, wherever you're watching. But go ahead and comment me or let me know, like, I want in the group something, and we'll go ahead. Or you can just go to mysixfigurefunnel.com, register for this event officially, and go ahead and you'll get the link to that. But your homework tonight is go ahead and do that, because tomorrow we're going to go, tomorrow we may even go over, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. The conversation tonight that we had to have is not my favorite conversation. It's important, but it's not my favorite. My favorite conversation is what we're about to talk about tomorrow. Funnels and traffic. I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. Are you guys cool to learn how we're getting 15 to 20% conversion rates, or higher in some cases, sometimes a little lower, but around there? How we're utilizing other people's platforms to grow their audiences. Antoine, I know you want this one, bro. You've been talking about that leverage game. You've been talking about leveraging other people's podcasts. You've been talking about leveraging other people's platforms. We're going to go into not only the funnels we're using, and I'm going to give you exact breakdown of each, but I'm also going to break down, and it's going to be a little overwhelming tomorrow. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to shoot you guys with a fire hose of water. I'm going to give you all the information, but we're also going to break down exactly how you can implement our traffic blueprint. Literally, okay, give you an idea. Last week, we ran a challenge for a client. We filled this funnel up for a client, like I was talking about. I'm not going to use the word challenge yet because some of you guys don't know what that is. But we ran these virtual event funnels, and we had this client who he only had about 500 or 600 people on his email list, so not big. We did a little bit of ads. It wasn't anything crazy, but that's pretty much it. But we were able to fill up his funnel with about 140 people. He ended up making, he'll probably make like 50 to 60,000 when this is all said and done. And off of no really audience. Like if he does that 2 or 3 times a year, he's making 6 figures. That's easy. But what we used was how we got those 140 people in there, or whatever I said, 130, 140, something like that, was by utilizing the traffic blueprint I'm going to share tomorrow. We're going to go into organic traffic sources. We're going to go into paid. We're going to talk about partnerships, how you can leverage other people's resources to grow your business in an ethical and good way. And it's gonna, I promise you guys, you're gonna leave out of here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Tomorrow at the end, I'm also gonna share with you guys my irresistible, crazy, no-brainer offer. I'm not gonna sell you on the call. I'll probably have you guys, you can book a call with me or someone on my team to talk about it. But I'm gonna reveal to you guys what my crazy no-brainer offer is, so you guys can see exactly what it looks like, and you can go to the next level if you guys want to partner with me, so we can actually help you get to that next level. But so that's it tonight. What I want to do is we're going to end this out. What's the typical ad spend to fill up a challenge? So Antoine, let's go into that in a second in the Q&A. So we're about to close this out, and I'm going to do about 20 to 30 minutes of questions with Antoine and everybody in VIP. If you guys want to upgrade to VIP, make sure to go to mysixfigurefunnel.com, and you guys can go and grab the VIP ticket, and you'll get the Zoom link immediately to come join us in the VIP session. We're going to come chop it up. We're going to talk about offers. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about sales, funnels, everything inside the Q&A session. VIP also get the replays. I'm also sending them the workbook, and I'm also sending them a free trial of our funnel software. I'm going to send them a free trial of our webinar software. I'm going to send them probably maybe some templates. They're going to get a bunch of stuff. So VIP, come join us. Again, your homework, go do those 4 things. Post in the group. Let us know when it's done so I can give some shout outs. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow for day 2 of the 6-figure funnel workshop. And last thing, go live. Give me your biggest takeaway from this today. Share your takeaway in the group via live. I want to hear it. We'll see you very soon. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow for day 2.